Namaskar. How are you, my dear friends? We are speaking on this YouTube channel, Krishna Rao Speaks. It is just 4 months old. Now we are trying to communicate with each other by being very attentive to each other. Now, this is not a one-sided communication. The speaker has his own life experiences, you have your own. Now we are exchanging, and in this exchange we are prepared to ready to eradicate all that has been wrongly learned. We are ready to dispel our darkness. Now this darkness is nothing but our ignorance or that knowledge which has been learned by us wrongly. Now nobody can learn the right language, the right truth, the right reality of life straight away. We all commit mistakes. We are erratic in this process of learning. But what is required is our preparedness to correct our errors, not to remain or stagnate with that knowledge which is wrongly learned and be happy with it. Now, to learn, we have to begin with accepting our limitedness of knowledge. In the sense, our knowledge is very limited. Human life is very limited for a limited span of time. So naturally, we cannot really drink the vast reservoir of knowledge which is there. Now, to learn, we must be ready to listen from resourceful people, right people. Either you call them as teachers or in traditional sense, gurus, but you have to identify the right teacher, the right guru. The first task to learn the truth and reality of life is identification of the teacher. So our quest to learn, it begins with listening. The best bet to learn is listening. We have to listen from the horse's mouth, as it is said. Now that horse is none other than the resourceful person, a reliable person who has comprehended, understood, and has insights about truth and reality of life. There are 3 steps to learning. The first one is listening. In Sanskrit, it is called as Shravanam. You listen through your ear from a reliable source. Then comes the Kirtanam. It is not singing. In fact, it is communicating that which you have learned from the reliable source with people who are eager or who have quest for truth and reality of life. So you are sharing this knowledge with like-minded people where you discuss, deliberate, and in that process you develop insight or you go into the depths of that knowledge. By that you get clarity. The third one is Smaranam. Smaranam is recollecting what you have learned rightly or recapitulating. It is something similar to auto learning or self learning, wherein you are speaking to yourself. You are speaking from your memory. You are recollecting and you are speaking to yourself. Mostly this happens when you are alone, all alone by yourself. So these are the 3 important steps to learn the truth and reality of life. Now next, most of the people dislike listening to others. They would like to be listened. Have you seen when two people meet, each one attempts to overtake the other, give his own narrative, give his own explanation, give his own conclusion and judgment about that subject. But a good communicator is one who listens completely with rapt attention, with total attention. He listens to the other person very keenly, then he asks questions. Now, each question will lead to further clarity about the truth. So, it is a wrong attitude and wrong approach to know the truth when we prevent others from expressing their views or their point of view. Most of the people approach or go to those people who think alike, in the sense who think similar to them. That means we have already decided what to listen, what we believe in, whatever that we like and whatever that we believe to be the truth. We would like to listen that from others, so we very carefully select that person who speaks like us. So there is no investigation, there is no probing, there is no inquiry at all when two people are in a dialogue, because both of them are speaking the same. It is something like birds of same feather flock together. I would like to give a simple example here. A person who is suffering with diabetes and heart ailment, he chooses a doctor who supports his idea of diet. In the sense, when the doctor says, agrees with, yes, you can have sweet once in a while, or you can have non-vegetarian food in moderate quality every day, he will prefer to choose that doctor rather than a doctor says very strictly that you must avoid non-vegetarian food and sweets completely to protect further deterioration. So we very carefully choose our listeners. Don't select your listeners carefully who agree with you, because there is no inquiry at all. You can never come upon truth when you are very selective. Now, there are 4 to 5 kinds of listeners. The first category is that listener who is eager to know the truth. The example is Arjuna. He is ready to listen to Lord Krishna in the midst of the battle. Can you imagine a person getting engaged in the middle of the battlefield wherein 700 verses are being discussed and Arjuna very attentively listened to the communication from Krishna and got awakened? He woke up from his slumber. He dispelled his darkness and he stood up to discharge his duties. Now, there are people who do not like the truth at all, in spite of telling. For example, Karna. Now, there are people who do not know whom to listen to. They go to a wrong person. Like, for example, Duryodhana. He went to Shakuni. Though Krishna advised him many a times, he never paid attention to that. Now, there are people who do not listen to anybody at all. They do whatever they feel like doing. For example, Vishwamitra and Durvasa. These two saints, they did whatever they felt like doing. Now, most of the people presently whom we see in the society are like that. They do whatever they feel like doing, and when they face an obstacle, a difficult situation, they don't know what to do. Lastly, there are people who do not know whom to share the truth with, like this old man. They go on speaking the truth and they are trying to explain truth and reality to every person who they come across, without checking whether those people are ready to listen to them or not. So listening is the best way to learn anything, whether it is subject or truth or reality. As we said it, the only thing that is required is to be attentive, to be very alert while listening. You have to pay your total attention to it with rapt attention and give all your senses to the speaker. Now share this with your friends and express your comments, and let us meet again in our next video. Namaskar.